Welcome to HP Tuner's Ford Gen 2 Coyote Training Part 4. This training module we're going to be exploring working within our histograms and our math functionality within the scanner software. We're also going to take a look at using some filters within the histograms. This is all vital, important information in order to move forward and actually implementing anything within the scanner in terms of our data analysis or our data logging. Without further wait, let's jump in so we can check this out. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to be taking a look at working with our histograms, our math channels, and filters for our histograms in this tutorial. The last tutorial we focused on an overview of our VCM Scanner software. Now we're going to dig into the scanner software a little bit further and trying to understand some of the more fine details within our data analysis here, specifically with our histograms. Let's jump in and let's start to talk about what a histogram represents and how we can go in and configure a histogram if we want to. So first things first, the easiest way to describe a histogram and how it actually works is to open up a data log. We're gonna be able to take a look at this and start to sort through some of the data and play it back within the histogram so we understand what's going on and how they actually function. So what we're gonna find here on my screen, I have, in this case, my open layout, the layout that I'm working with here. This is going to be, if we go here into our course folder, so HP Tuners Gen 2 Coyote, VCM Scanner, we're going to be opening up our Gen 2 Coyote main layout option. So we're going to open that up. That's going to bring on screen exactly what I have here onto your screen. Same with the chart versus time. Now the logging channel list will be proprietary to either the data log that you're looking at or what you have loaded in terms of your logging channel list. Now because we're playing a data log here, we're going to be automatically loading the channels that I have already created within my log file. So if we actually go up here to our file open and we move in here to our HP Tuners Gen 2 Coyote and into the data log examples and into the histogram tutorial, not the tutorial we're in right now, you'll find that we have two different options that you can select for data logs. I'm going to go and grab this sample math log. This is just a basic data log. We're going to open it up, start to get familiar with this and specifically look at our histogram. So let's go here and click open. Now, what we're going to find is that the data is open within our VCM scanner. So we've opened up this captured data log. We can see up the top here, sample math log is what this is called. You're able to see this on your screen. Now, first things first, let's turn our attention into our histogram area here, specifically under math tuning. This is the histogram I'm going to focus on primarily for this tutorial, just so we can get an idea of how this is all going to work and the importance of it. Now, in the math tuning histogram here, you're going to be noticing that on the left side of this histogram, we have something called mass airflow period. That's going to be in microseconds. We can see it's going to be an axis that runs all the way from the top here around the number of 83, all the way down here to the bottom to a value of 1485. Now, what this represents is the mass airflow curve or the calibration curve for our mass airflow sensor. If we actually jump into our calibration file, and the calibration file that I have for my particular car here, 2017 Mustang GT Auto, this is the base cal. This is going to be the stock equivalent file that I've read out of the vehicle. We'll be taking a look at how to do the read, write, and licensing process in a future training module, but for right now, this is going to be the equivalent file that I've downloaded out of this vehicle. Now, if I jump in here to engine and I go here, let's give it a second, I go here into my airflow section. Into airflow, we're going to find that we have this area here called mass airflow versus period. And here we can find that this is going to be our mass airflow calibration curve. We'll find that the mass airflow sensor, and we're going to have a separate tutorial talking about mass airflow and calibrating and tuning it. We'll find that the period here, that's in microseconds, that's the output from the sensor. On the right-hand side, this is going to be the associated amount of airflow coming into our engine at that specific period within the output from the sensor. So at 189.4 microseconds, we'll find that we're showing, in this case, 12.06 pound per minute. I suggest that you just go switch this to grams per second. I like to work in grams per second. I think that makes the most sense. So in this case, in the unit scale of grams per second, 194.4 microseconds of the period output from the mass airflow sensor is saying that we're flowing 91.2 grams per second worth of airflow into the engine. Now the mass airflow sensor is one of the most critical calibration curves that we have, or tables that we have within our Gen 2 Coyote engine control modules. So Again, we're going to be covering what this all means and how this all works in a separate dedicated tutorial. But notice here, since we're talking about the histograms, notice on the left-hand side, we have that period. If we go back into our VCM Scanner software, notice that this is a replica here on our left-hand side within our histogram chart. And now notice we have these blank cell points. See all these blank points right here? That's going to be the equivalent of the same lookup cell point on our actual curve for the mass airflow sensor. Now, why do we have these blank points in the histogram? Well, that's going to be to overlay data within those cell points. So if we want to calibrate our mass airflow curve, we need to see how far our airflow is off by. And we can do that by overlaying our fuel trims in our closed loop operation against our mass airflow curve. Again, this might be a little bit overwhelming. Don't worry, I'll be covering this extensively in other. Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.